Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox, and this is by way of a very short introduction because I'm just going to go straight in and show you an interview I literally have just had with Roger. Roger's just off grabbing something to eat at the moment, and we will be going out shortly. But before he goes to eat, I recorded this. So it's only a short piece, just to show what a lovely fella he is and what he's doing right now. So here goes. I go. Right, well, Roger, thanks very much for coming.
Thank you.
It's been a long time chatting and communicating,
Yep.
And we're finally we get to meet. And you've come a long way, haven't you?
Yes.
Yes, it's
It's about 300 miles.
300 miles.
Yeah, it's well
just
worth it.
just to see me. That may not strictly be true. Roger had come down for other reasons. He was in the area, and so I hijacked him. I stole him, and there is a ransom, but I'm sure somebody will pay the ransom and release me. But no, Roger, no, you've done a lot with us with the channel for so long now. You've given us a lot of stories and a lot of wonderful information. Truly magnificent. But we appreciate all the hard work that's gone into it because there really has been an absolute immense amount of work that you've done, isn't there?
Yeah. I mean, it's accumulation of a lot of large number of years, really, which in a sense it began back in the 1990s on patient safety. But it's been very intense over the last 10 years at Scotland.
But there's so many different areas as well. I mean, because obviously we came in together because of the work that Leslie was doing with regards to her tireless, wonderful effort with regard to what was going on through COVID. So you've been deeply involved with that, and you and Rab, and it's just taking off. And you've got obviously the police are looking at the WhatsApps now, but it seems, I think, frustration from you because nobody seems to be picking up and running with the cause.
That's right, yeah. I mean, a lot of the stuff we're doing can initially look to be quite complicated, but once the penny drops, it is actually quite simple. And a lot of it stems from the absence of the rule of law in Scotland. The Devolution Act actually removed it. Everyone under the rule of law has to be covered by the law.
Yeah.
But the Devolution Act, Scotland Act 1998, actually removed that. And so the government was made the prosecutor, and of course it can't prosecute itself. And from that one error, there's a whole cascade of consequences. What we're looking at the moment are three broad areas. One is that it created an unlawful justice system. Secondly, an unlawful system of government. And thirdly, it created an unlawful approach to public safety, whether it's patient safety or whether it was the pandemic. So those all actually fit together.
So because I know that you've said that there's been an awful lot of deaths that are basically going either not unreported as such, but unaccountable deaths through patients dying unnecessarily due to lack of care, of oversight, things like that, and nobody is being held to any form of account.
Yeah, I mean the problem is it covers all the UK really, but it's particularly a problem in Scotland. The law exists to ensure patient safety, but the law's not been properly implemented, and also it's not been regulated. In Scotland there is no regulator at all, whereas at least in England and Wales there's the Care Quality Commission.
So there's no equivalent of a Care Quality Commission in Scotland?
No.
So who oversees?
It's health and safety. The Health and Safety Executive actually has overarching responsibility for patient safety across England, Wales and Scotland. In England and Wales it defers to the Care Quality Commission, although they don't actually uphold health and safety at work. The basic legal test for patient safety is whether the NHS did all that was reasonably practicable to ensure the health and safety of a particular patient. That's the legal test. And there's lots of other legislation which goes with it, but that's the primary test. And Jeremy Hunt, when he was health minister, He said in Parliament, I think it would be 2015, that he was looking at about 20,000 reasonably preventable deaths a year in NHS England, and that figure actually matched the figure we'd got pro rata for Scotland. We were looking about 2,000. Yeah. So it's a massive problem, and the existing system of compliance with the law and regulation is not working for England and Wales, but particularly it's not working for Scotland. Yeah.
Wow, there's just so much stuff that's going wrong. There's so much lack of oversight, lack of control. And I know we work, and I obviously deal a lot with Scotland, but it's not just Scotland. It's everywhere. It's almost universal.
I mean the high-profile cases in England are the maternity services, the hundreds of the baby deaths, and they are coming to light. They're being investigated, and they tend to find fairly basic problems.
Basic care level
problems, yes, and which have been known about for decades.
Yeah.
They've got the profile, but in Scotland things just get covered up.
I mean, to be fair with the baby thing particularly, I know that there is a massive shortfall in hiring and retaining midwives, for example, and that's always going to lead to problems regardless, because obviously it's one of the most traumatic times for the mother, and probably the most traumatic time for the baby is the moment of birth and the moment leading up to birth. And if you don't have someone like a trained professional there, that's when things happen. And so I think possibly, particularly with the baby deaths, that could be alleviated in a big way by actually hiring qualified midwives. They've been trying to, they just can't get them.
No, that is the area which it does need a great deal of effort. It's probably the area of highest risk within healthcare.
Neonatal care.
Yeah, it is really.
Oh well, that's something I think we can all, beyond party politics, agree on. That's one of those things that you really, regardless of what party you are, if you're going to say no, don't care about babies, that's the end of your political career. So maybe something that not you, but something we as people could get behind and get all the parties to agree on pushing for an increase in sort of neonatal care. Yeah, that's cracking. But there's so many areas. We could talk all day on them, and I know we've got a busy day, and we've got things that we need to do. So it's just I'm just very pleased that you've come down. We will continue this with Zoom calls, with things that we're doing, with the continued emails. I know you've got no spoilers now. There's no spoilers, but I know Roger, because we've spoken, has got other fingers in other fingers in the pie, thumbs in the pie, whichever it is. But anyway, there's lots of things going on, and that we will be dealing with a lot more in the future, won't we?
Thank you. I really appreciate the work you're doing, because it does need a profile, and so far, whilst these are very big problems, there's no action from the politicians, and the media are not covering these, which is, it's a surprise. It's almost the case that the issues are too big, but they cannot continue. It results in a great deal of harm to the public.
Well, that's why these good people out there, the audience that I watch, that watch me, that watch all the other channels, they all know. That's why we bring this stuff, because the mainstream media aren't bringing it. And if they're not bringing it for this, makes you wonder what else they're not telling, which is why I like to push out the stuff that I get. And if anyone has anything, any information that they want, give it to me. I treat it with care, I treat it with respect, and if I need to protect the sources, I protect the sources. So let me just put that up there. If you have anything, please let me know. As for Roger, I want to say thank you very much for turning up. Thank you very much for coming all this way, just to see little old me, and to give these good people out there a wonderful chance to see you in action, as it were, and to hopefully push and fight on for the future.
Thank you.
No problem. Roger, goodbye. Thank you. It was so nice to finally meet him after all these communications. Obviously, we talk by phone, we talk by text, we talk by WhatsApp. We don't delete our WhatsApps. And, of course, we do Zoom calls, which you've all been involved in. Now, Roger, as I said, there's no spoilers on this, because I've given him a word. He wants this to be released on his schedule, which is fine. But we are working on something else, which will be available. So do please hit the subscribe button. You won't want to miss it. We've got so much going on. But until we speak to Roger again, thank you very much for watching this, and I will speak to you later. Bye.